right, it's Power 105.1. I'll go by the boy Art, and this is the New Era Show. We have a special guest, Flight.
What it do, Flight Crew, FTC, Flight Team, stand up.
How you doing, man? How are you?
Doing amazing, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Real quick, this is what I like to ask everybody that comes on this show. If you can think of something that you've done, whether it was yesterday, the day before, last week, whatever it is, whatever that moment is that you would like to relive, what would that thing be and why?
I'd say definitely taking the time to just like, I'm always grateful, don't get it twisted, but just that appreciation, period. There'll be like certain times of the day where I'll just like reflect on myself and just like, take the time to smell the flowers, and just like when you sit down and you're able to like recognize that and just you feel that, like it's just like a priceless feeling you can have. And I feel like I'm trying to practice that a little bit more and to learn how to like stop and smell the flowers a little bit more, stop and just like reflect, stop and you just, just understand myself even a little bit better in just terms of just like where I've gotten in life and everything. I think that would be something I'd like to repeat.
Yeah. And
just knowing how to just like appreciate that feeling instead of just like, I wouldn't say look over, but just more just have tunnel vision all the time and, just not stop and just smell the flowers.
And what do you think the best, I guess, I don't want to say ideas or thoughts that has come to you from reflecting on all that you accomplished and all that you've done? What would that thing be that stood out to you? Like,
just in terms of just how I just like react to things now, in terms of just like with everything in life. Now I just feel like I have, especially with the age I'm at now, just turned 30 not too long ago. I feel like I have a lot more of a better like perception of just how I take things, whether if it's like reacting to something off of like anger or just reacting to something just like to try and come up with an idea or just like, get through this and that situation. I think that's probably like my favorite thing about myself now.
Yeah.
I can say.
Why do you feel like you were reacting out of anger before?
No, it's not necessarily that. It's just like how like necessarily like react to like, just whatever just comes into a situation. Like how I would, anybody, if you're like 21 and then you're 30, now you're going to obviously like have a different perception and like take the time to just like, I don't know, I can say reflect a little bit better, as I would like to say. I think it's just like, it just comes with just maturity, through age over the years.
I was trying to find this quote. Damn it, I can't find the quote, but it was it's something like a man who still who's I don't want to fuck it up. A man who's 30 or something like that, or 40, and still think like a 20-year-old or something in that nature. Basically, It's about elevation.
Yeah,
it's about as you get older, you want to be able to disconnect from how you used to think and how you used to behave because it's maturity.
Exactly.
So you're 100% right. But let me ask you this, man. Do you consider yourself internet personality, or like what if you want people to describe who Flight is? What would that description be?
Shit, honestly, just entertainer.
Okay.
When it comes to like anywhere from like YouTube to music to Twitch live stream to entrepreneurship or just anything. I just feel like I meet all the above criteria. I actually wouldn't want to, at the end of the day, it's however people think, you can't control it. But, I feel like I meet all the above criteria for everything, and I wouldn't want to like limit myself. So I think that's like the best description. If someone thinks about Flight, Flight the entertainer, in terms of just like, he does like everything, almost like a chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
So
there, you would say there is like a, and I was just saying this the other day, how I hate using this word, but I think it applies here. There is an intention to what you do and what you put out. Like you're, I guess that's what you were saying a few seconds ago, where now that you're 30, you're very intentional about the art that you put out, and it means something to the fact that you wanted to live into the world. So the reason why I asked that is because when I was reading this article about you, they label you as an internet personality, and I wonder if that was offensive to you. You know what I mean? Because I do agree with the fact that you say you are an entertainer.
Yeah. Nah, not at all. Like anybody, whoever. To be honest, like you just look my name up. Like my stuff shows what I do, like in plain sight. The numbers don't lie and whatever, or whatever. I just. If anybody puts an internet personality, content creator, influencer, it doesn't really matter because you just look my stuff up and, it shows everything of like what I do. I don't ever take offense to that. It's like some people just don't do the research, So, and whatever they see that pops up on the internet first, you can't really be mad at them for, what that shows. So
Now this next question is a 2-part question, but the first one is, what do you enjoy more, making music or doing content?
I definitely say like enjoy music more, but content is just right behind it. I wouldn't say it's like it wouldn't be like a huge gap. It's definitely something where it's like more, I feel like leaning towards music is because I'm able to put like my feelings into it, or like maybe like a life lesson into it, you know, and behind a catchy beat. And it's, you know, timeless, I feel like, especially if you make like the right record and everything for people to remember. With content, it's literally the same thing, like, you know, in the same boatload. Like you make the right content or whatever, it can be timeless. People enjoy it. They can learn a lesson through it, you know, be happier after watching. But I definitely say music though.
Yeah. And what inspired you to start making the music? Because you felt like you needed to reveal more that you couldn't reveal on the content side?
Honestly, that's like the perfect way to describe it. I feel like even being on camera and stuff like that, and knowing and showing displaying your full personality and authenticity, sometimes people still don't feel close to you. I feel like they gotten a little bit closer as I've gradually, like, you know, made music and stuff over the years and continue to drop. I feel like they've been able to get into a different perspective, maybe been able to relate something with like a certain bar and be like, oh, like Flight went through that too. I thought I was like the only one that like went through that in my life, you know? So when I hear things like that, that kind of like touches me in a way, because it's just like, damn, like it's like you're speaking to them on a different level for them to like understand you outside of just the content. Because sometimes with the content, like there's serious moments, but like for the most part, it's more of just like an escape sometimes for people. They don't really like take it into words, oh, I'm trying to like, you think they can learn a lesson, but they don't sit there and actually seek out and learn a lesson. I feel like with the music, they know that there's gonna be something that can potentially like hit them hard, or just like give them a certain vibe and just a certain feeling. So it has its benefits.
Yeah, and speaking about the fans, do you think it's difficult, you know, to get them to support the music like they support the content? Because I understand that it's two different audience. Yep. So, you know, once you start doing music, it's almost like something that they're not used to. So has it been difficult to try to get them over?
I say honestly, like no and yes, and then no again, because through the years I kind of like know the type of target audience and stuff that I listen to, and the type of like the style of the type of music I make. So it kind of like I in a way guessed, okay, like I know if I drop this type of sound or whatever, you know, this core audience is gonna mess with it. The only part I say which is difficult is just like, honestly, people outside the community. It's like people honestly, like, just to be honest, since I dropped my first song, already kind of made a community into it, and they understood it, where it's just like, okay, like he's not only just gonna be uploading videos, he's gonna drop music too. Now, whether if we fuck with the song he drops or whatever, or the project he drops, that's really up to them. But it's like I kind of built that like startup in the community on my side, where it's like they kind of expected it. It's more difficult in terms of like people on like the outside communities, or people that don't really know Flight like that, and they look up and they see content first, and then the music, you know, coming right afterwards will kind of confuse them and be like, I don't know. But I feel like once they like hit that first song, click on the first song, it's like they fall down a rabbit hole. Yeah. So now they're not only stuck with the music, they're stuck with the content, and they're, you know, all types of avenues.
Yeah. And you dropped Why You Choosy?
Yeah.
In September, right?
Yeah, last week.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
oh
Friday?
shit!
Yeah.
September was last week.
That's crazy. Year, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking October. I'm thinking like September was like a minute ago, but yeah, that was last week. God damn!
Yeah, right.
What are you putting together an album currently?
Yeah, I am. I have actually dropping my part 2 for Kimani. The top of November next month. It has 2 features, 13 songs. That was one of the tracks that I technically leaked out to spoil some people and stuff. Dropped it with the music video as well on the main channel, FlightReacts. But yeah, that's many of different tracks that I have that's really diversifying. This project was gonna separate from every other project. It's super diverse. I feel like I'm like touching all types of styles from different states, and not just focused on like 1 or 2 different, you know what I'm saying, like cultures and stuff. So very excited.
You know what's so interesting, man? I was thinking about this today when I was like prepping for this interview. I said to myself, I'm like, you have 5 million subscribers on YouTube. You have a huge social media platforms. I'm like, do people like yourself need to do press? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's not like you need to do press, right? So like when you think about when you're putting together an album or you're packaging something that you need to put out to the public, what makes you want to go do these press runs? Because you don't need to do it. You have the audience already there.
No, it's much love, brother. Honestly, I just feel like there's always, you never know who's watching. I'm always a big advocate of that, and it really started with just like little things where I'll see like mainstream athletes like shout me out and stuff like that, and I'm thinking like, how do these guys have even time of the day to watch and stuff like that? But sometimes people like, you know, like they just don't know about, you know, a certain somebody or just a certain like site or a certain, you know, social media. So I feel like when you put yourself out there and you're not afraid to just like, you know, place yourself into like, you know, different press and stuff, you never know who's watching. Somebody can only just be watching Power 105 and that's their only like resource. That's their Google of like looking for like new up and coming artists or artists in general or entertainers, etc. So I feel like if you step out of that shell and don't be afraid, you know, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
So.
And speaking of showing love, you know, Steph Curry showed you love on your born day.
Yeah.
How did that feel? I know you're a huge fan.
Look at Wardell Curry, man. Nah, it was crazy. It like, honestly, I thought it was a fan account. People was like screenshotting and showing me, and then when I seen it was a real Steph, it's just like, this is mind blowing. I mean, you're talking about, in my opinion, the top 5, top 10 most famous people in the world, like taking the time and like wishing somebody that. It's like, that just makes you want to go 2 times harder. That shows that, you know, you're doing something right in life and to just keep pushing and, you know, to always like be humble and, you know, treat people good.
Yeah, you know,
God by your side.
It's dope because he could have just said happy birthday, but to add stand up guy, you know, to me, I feel like that shows what kind of person he is, you know, or it just shows how much respect he has for you. So yeah, I'm pretty sure, you know, as somebody who you've been championing him for a long time, so for you, you know, for the public to see that, I mean, it went viral for a reason, because for people to see that, that was like dope. Do y'all have you had a conversation with him post that, or?
Yeah, no, like, so occasionally, like, I'll have like conversations with him and his team like through the months, but like personally, like in person, we haven't like met yet. There's a lot of stuff in the works in the future. But nah, I've definitely like had communication with, you know, him and his team. They send me gear from Under Armour. Shout out to Curry brand and shout out to Under Armour. They'll send me gear like every month, care packages and stuff. So now they're always checking in on me and making sure I'm all right.
Yeah, that's fire, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What help me to understand, man. When you started like giving these players these, I don't want to say terrible names, but just like hilarious names.
Yeah.
Was that when you initially first started? Was that like just a accidental thing you said, and then it just became a thing, or did you intentionally was like, yo?
Yeah, no, it's literally all 3 of everything you said. Like it started off accidental, just off as, let's say you're reacting and you accidentally stutter and then you slip up and say the name, and then I'll notice people be like, you know what, that was kind of catchy. And then also I kind of got like an idea from thinking about like old school like street ball and stuff back in the day, where they would be like on an open mic and certain players would like have names, like you had like Escalade and stuff, you had Hot Sauce, the Professor, and it's just like, I would like, okay, like what if I think of like some catchy, like, because I feel like the NBA, like over the years, certain NBA players, they just stopped, like, not even certain NBA players, just the NBA in general, stopped doing like nicknames and just them funny catchy names. Like, you know, you had Jason Williams like called White Chocolate, or you had like, you know, Dominique Wilkins called the Human Highlight Film. I'm sitting up here thinking like, I feel like I could start like a trend where it's like, you give players like their alter ego names or their alter names and stuff to just make it catchy and help people remember them and stuff like that. Especially like, let's say if they got like a difficult last name, I also think it adds to it and helping them like remember, oh, that's this person, but I don't know how to say his name still.
Have you given Giannis any name?
Yeah, Campo.
Man, what the fuck? Man, who else, man? Who else got to think of that got difficult name? What's the fucking what's his name, man? I think he played for the Celtics. Hold on.
Yeah, I gotta know. There's a lot. I can't just say.
Oh man, let me get this motherfucker's name out. Damn it, what the fuck is his name? I can't think of it right now. They're all tall. I was about to say tall motherfucker, but they're all tall. Damn it. I think it starts with the S or something like that.
Yeah, I gotta get it like.
Fuck! I really want you to do it. Pause. I really want you to give me one too for him, but nah, it might come to me off camera, but
yeah, just let me know.
When you think about, because you contributed to a lot of like notorious memes.
Yeah.
When you sit down and like think about the memes that you've helped added to the internet ecosystem,
right?
Would you say, I mean, you could tell me which one you think has been one of your most viral memes, but would you say Flight Takes a Smoke Break? Would you say that one has like taken his own life of his own?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's like, even when it comes back to just talking about the memes, a lot of these memes are just like surprising, like how they've made. Like there can be memes I did when it was like from 2017 or like a year ago and stuff, and I'll look at them, I'll just be like, wait, y'all thought this is funny? I mean, I guess it just shows you like the power of like TikTok now. It's just, I feel like, people, they have a lot of time and they'll sit down and just make stuff, and it just takes over. Like it just goes viral for just like the funniest reasons. But I think the smoke break was the funniest one.
Yeah.
Because it was just literally like a clip where people took out a like complex. Basically, I didn't actually take a smoke break. I basically like took an edible before then, and then like I had to make an edit in the video because there was like 13 seconds of the video got like copyright from YouTube where I wasn't gonna get monetized. So you're able to go in the YouTube editor thing and basically like chop it up, and that's what I did. And so people that didn't watch the video already, they thought, oh, he just edited it and he just took a smoke break in between, and they ran off with it. And,
oh shit!
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
God damn! But see, that's why I like talking to people, because the internet is so weird, because they really can put a clip together and make a narrative.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Out of something that just didn't happen. You know what I mean?
For real.
So it's so interesting to hear you say that, because I thought you really took a smoke break.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's just like the edible ended up happening and hit a little bit later after I edited the video, so it just went and chopped into one, and people was like, oh, like, yeah, this guy's Flight's crazy. You just so.
With that being said, have you ever seen like old clips of yourself and be like, damn, why did I say that? Does it happen a lot?
Definitely. And, that all goes back to just like knowing how to just like think before you say or react to things better with you just getting older. Like, of course, like, me being in the game, especially for about going on, I say 13, 14-ish years, people have seen me literally grow up right in front of their eyes. Like, I'm obviously not the same person as I was 19 when I was 20 years old and stuff like that. So there was, there would be certain things I wish I didn't say. And even a few years ago, I feel like everybody's minds is always altering and maturing and stuff. Like, it comes with it. I always know at the end of the day, I'm not like a bad and evil person, but there is stuff I wish I didn't say, just didn't have to say, It comes with it.
Now, I'm bringing that up because over the weekend we all witnessed. I mean, not even over the weekend. This shit just been going on. This whole DDG and Cinco back and forth.
And I've seen that over a few days. I'm trying to keep up, in New York, and I'm scrambling around.
Yeah,
so
my damn self, I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah.
What, like, when you see stuff like that playing on the internet, somebody who's I don't want to say grandfather in on the internet, but you're one of the pioneers of this shit. So it's like, what advice do you give to people like that, or do you just let it play out and let them do basically internet squabble?
Yeah. Honestly, that's how you have to play it out, because I fuck with DDG heavy and I fuck with Cinco heavy, and it's like both of them my boys. So it's like with stuff like that, you kind of just got to be neutral and just you can sit and you can react to the stuff and give maybe just a tad thought about it, but you just got to stay out the way. That's just comes with it with the internet. Like certain people just they don't see eye to eye maybe, and you just got to sit back and just kind of observe and just go from there. And still, wherever it happens, you don't choose sides or whatever. You just still respect both and stuff. But that's what comes with it,
You think this beef that they're going through is ever going to be repaired? Or do you think it's past that now?
Nah, I could see it being repaired because, I could see it being repaired because, like, one thing, if like, especially DDG, like, personally, like, he's a really understanding person, like, especially, he just doesn't take disrespect, in which he shouldn't with anything. And, I didn't know too much about what's going on with the beef, so I don't know who disrespected who, but, seeing past DDG beefs, he usually, like, is down to, like, squash it, so I couldn't see unless, like, actual, like, blood is shed. I don't think why wouldn't they want to squash it?
Yeah.
Eventually, who knows when.
Now, this is just my opinion. You don't got to co-sign it. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
But me personally, like, I'm paying attention to this situation going on, and I was watching a video of Cinco saying that people around DDG enable like his whole behavior, all this bravado behavior, and I'm like, you were one of those people around DDG, you know what I mean?
Man.
So now it's like, for me, it's like I hate when people do stuff like that, because you've been with the person. This is me speaking. You've been with the person through it all, and then now you feel like you want to take accountability and be like, oh, he's a bad person. But it's like, when he was with you, you were saying all this bad stuff that he was allegedly doing. So wasn't he a bad person then? Why didn't you, just separate yourself? So you use the ladder that he gave you to climb up, and then after you climb up, you decide, oh, okay, he's a terrible guy.
Hey, I don't co-sign anything, I'm out of this, but shit, we gotta see how it plays out, We gotta see.
Yeah, I'm just watching it from afar, like, man. But real quick, man, something interesting that I found out. I don't know if you've answered this publicly yet, but what happened? Were you really talking about the Olympics? Is that why you got banned on Twitch?
Yeah, bro. So it was a mix of things. So basically, it was really weird. So you're allowed to react to like sports games and stuff, but when it comes to Olympics, they got a different copyright system, which I obviously already knew. So I knew that like if I would have recorded like a reaction off stream, they would have instantly got blocked. So what I decided to do, okay, like, and I deal with that with some certain sports games. They got different rights and all that type of stuff. So usually when I know that, I just stream it so people can see my live reaction, and just in case I'm not able to upload it or I got to edit it or whatever, they see the raw reaction on the Twitch VOD. Mm-hmm. So basically, yeah, I'm just randomly reacting to the Olympic Games. And mind you, I reacted to the other 3 or 4 ones that happened prior to them. And I basically say something slick. I forgot exactly what I said, but I said something along the lines of, the Olympics are basically getting greedy or something like that, because they're not letting people like react to it, like monetize it, like, and it wasn't even just for basketball, it was just for like all the other Olympics, like the long jumps, the sprints, and the gymnastics. They was just like not letting people react to it. So I literally said only, oh, like, why is the Olympics being so greedy? Everybody say L Olympics, and no BS. Like 2 minutes later in the reaction, I see my Twitch account get logged out. I see an email that I got a strike or something like that, and it's from like not no automated bot, like it's actually from the Olympics like copyright like system and everything. So like I ain't gonna lie, like I was shook for probably like 5 or 10 seconds. I'm like freaking out, like, because I've never, like, I know how to follow the rules. I never got a strike ever on Twitch, being on Twitch for like 8 years, like never had a community guideline ever. So yeah, that happens, and then so I hit my manager up, what I'm saying, to let them know what's going on. And I hit my Twitch rep up. They was originally trying to give me like a 2-week ban, just off my first ever copyright strike and stuff. And I'm like, okay, there has to be something deeper, because if it's just a copyright strike, it's like a 48-hour ban typically. So we went in, long story short, they was able to reverse it to, it was ended up being 3 days they gave me instead of 2 weeks.
God damn.
It's still, that's just, and called, and it's, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, but yeah, that basically, the Twitch rep basically told me that like, oh, like, you can't, like, with big companies like that, you basically can't, and I never talked about this to anybody since that happened, but you basically can't speak, I guess, down or bad on big events like that, because people get in their feelings. So I'm like, they had to have been in my live stream while that was happening. That wasn't something where they just clipped an old VOD, and they basically said, I guess, like, somebody that runs, like, the Olympics and shit was watching my stream. Yeah. And they just like, oh, that's messed up for you to say, blah, blah, and got in their feelings and just clipped my stream and got that straight.
Man, that's so interesting, because when I was reading about that, the next thing that came to mind was when you react to these players, to these artists' music. Yeah. Do they react the same way? Have you ever gotten responses like that from people who just didn't like what you said about, their song, or, a player got mad at you for saying something? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, definitely. Now,
how do you handle those situations?
Oh, very easy. When it comes to artist wise, I've honestly never really had like a major artist when I used to like react to music heavy back then, like ever like come at me in the DMs. But when it came to like athletes, I've had at least a smooth 10 to 11. Like either like try to press me in the DMs, or like they'll reach out to people that are close to me and say that like, oh, like tell him to watch his mouth, this and that. There's some that just don't understand the humor and just don't want to, like, they just want everybody, I guess, to just compliment them all the time and not have some satire to it. I've definitely had a few. Yeah. Definitely.
God damn.
I can't. I wish I could say
you good.
Yeah,
I understand, man. I understand for sure. That's got to be a difficult situation because I was thinking about, if a company like that, a massive company can attack you, I'm not attacked, but you know what I mean. In my brain, I was like, oh, I'm sure these motherfuckers try to press you too.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's, to me, that's not fair because you're literally giving your opinion, but like clearly you're being funny. Like clearly it's satire. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, can y'all get some tough skin?
I know. Tell me about it. And it's like I also have other NBA players that have like reached out and they'll see that and they'll laugh at it with me and like give me my props and stuff. And they'll just literally be like, bro, that's not even like what you say is like a playground compared to what people how they talk to them like when they're in IRL,
in
the stands. They will sit there and tell me like they'll talk about like their family, their kids and stuff. And they've actually had a few that actually would be like, we actually appreciate that you know how to like take it to a certain level, but you know how to keep it at a certain level and don't go past it. So like once I've gotten that type of like confirmation from others, then I'm like, oh, I'm doing something right. Like maybe people just don't like comedy and just don't like jokes, and I can't change that about them.
No, for sure.
So.
Now, let me ask you. I got like 2 more questions, and then I get you out of here. But if you can build a 2K squad, with streamers, entertainers, Flight's personal starting top 5.
Yeah.
Like who are you putting on that?
This is a good one. Okay, I gotta get me at the 1 or the 2. I don't mind. I gotta get my man Ticino.
Okay.
Gotta throw my boy Cash in there somewhere. Probably So Illuminati.
You think Cash could hoop?
I think chemistry wise, like he's good for us. Okay. I'm obviously better, you know what I'm saying, in the aspects IRL in on the game. He can't touch this, But I feel like chemistry wise, like we got like a good duo that'll like boost our attributes when it comes to the game.
Okay.
So I think that'll be a good look. I said So already, and I say like one more I'll probably get in the community. Probably low key Nadex, if you ever heard of him.
No.
The community, yeah.
Nadex. I'm gonna tap into that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
How you spell it?
Nadexe.
All right, I'm gonna tap into him when I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's a solid. Okay. Why those fellas specifically?
Oh man, because Ticino, he's one of the best isoers in like 2K.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's touching that. I'm really good at like distributing and playing my position. Like I'm always the type of player to get 15 dimes and 4 points, or I can drop 20 points, 8 points, or whatever. It don't matter. I just know how to play that position. I feel like I'm the best playmaker in 2K. Cash, I feel like, is a good defensive menace, so he'll get us steals and get us some like hacking rebounds and shit. So Illuminati, because he's a really good 7-4 pop and a 7-4 just like demigod. So that'll be an unstoppable combination. And Nadex is the same thing. He can run the center and he can also run the 2 and everything. Mm-hmm. So I think that'll be an unstoppable. That's literally the dream team right there.
Man, so. Nah, I like that. That's fire. Now, what about in real life? You think you're not really like a starting 5, but in real life, is there somebody that you would want to play 1-on-1?
Oh yeah, definitely got to be Steph. Outside of,
I mean, no brainer. Yeah, outside of Steph.
It's funny. Yeah, I thought about this the other day. I would say Michael Jordan.
Really?
I've always wanted a 1v1 Michael Jordan just because he's obviously, like, in my opinion, a top 3, top 5 ball player of all time. He's obviously an icon in basketball. I don't know. I just feel like that'll be like a staple point in like hooping, and especially MJ just don't pop out to anything, or just like you don't see him playing in any runs. So I just feel like that'll just be like a super legendary, like unlockable, rare moment.
Yeah,
I would love to do.
Damn. Okay.
Maybe I got to throw Iverson in there too as well. That's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah. AI is cold.
Hell yeah.
Damn. If I could 1v1 anybody, it'll be Melo.
LaMelo Ball or Carmelo?
Carmelo.
Yeah,
Carmelo.
no, that's a good one. That's a good pull.
I like Melo a lot.
Hell yeah.
All right. My last question to you, man. 5 years from now, you look at the legacy of Flight, all that you've done, a lane that you created for yourself, and a lot of people coming into this lane now and being successful. When you look at, your legacy just as a whole, what do you want, people? Well, first, 2-part question. What do you want to accomplish 5 years from now? What do you want to be doing? And also, like, what do you want people to just see Flight as a whole?
Oh man, 5 years from now, I definitely would see myself having and sitting on multiple platinum hits, being a top 10 artist in the industry, changing hip hop in a good way and bringing that fun back to hip hop. Seeing myself be a well-established entrepreneur, you know, whether if it's into like the business aspect of music or the business aspect of like YouTube streaming, even like my Weed Strand Duck Pack, being more involved into that, being more evolved into like, I definitely want to get into like the real estate market, and especially in the future, and definitely get into coaching too. One of the dreams and goals, I want to be able to coach maybe either in the NBA or NFL. It could be any team.
Nice.
So I definitely would love to see myself like in that time period, maybe 5 years from now, like stepping into that zone.
You know what's so crazy? I thought you were gonna say something on the lines of like being like an NFL, like a not NFL, NBA commentator. Because in my opinion, I feel like the world is gonna lean in that direction.
Yeah.
You know, like right now, people may not see it, but like I think what you've been doing is gonna set the blueprint for what they're gonna want to tap into. You know, because that's entertainment. Like people want to laugh, people want to have fun. Like you talking about the street ball, like when you on the street ball court, they saying crazy, but that community is so huge.
Exactly.
People love going to those games because they want to hear some funny shit like that. So I think I could definitely see you doing something like that.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, I think that would be pretty fire too.
Something on ESPN, something.
Yeah, they still got to get me on there a few times or something. I would love to you know, tap into the NBA commentating or NFL commentary side, and maybe have like special appearances and stuff like on, you know, on some like exclusive stuff. I would love to. So yeah, I feel like the sky's the limit. There's really like no limit with me. I'm always down to just like, you know, expand and get out of my shell if I need to.
Yeah. Man, Flight, congratulations on everything, man.
Thank you
for joining me today. Any last minute thing you want to share?
Of course. Yeah, y'all stay inspirational out there. You keep pushing. You got family, you got friends relying on you. You're almost there. You're right there around the corner to accomplishing all your goals. Now's not the time to give in.
Man, phenomenally said. Everybody else, this is the New Era Show. It's Power 105.1, and we'll see y'all. All right? Peace.
Sir.